Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. You know, I posted MVI 5041, breaking news, the Saudi-Obama connection back to 1979. Now, that's been on the web for less than a day, less than 24 hours, and it's only had 274 views. That video should have gone viral. Where's the chosen one today? Today is the 25th of January 2015. The chosen one took Michael and they flew to India. Why India? Well, India is celebrating its Freedom Day. Yeah, so the chosen one had no problem flying to India for a celebration. He's going to talk about climate change, what else is new, and he's going to talk about terrorism, not Islamic terrorism, just terrorism. So what do we learn from this? Well, we learn that he's not averse to flying, like when he flew to South Africa for Mandela's funeral on about 2 hours' notice. The Secret Service was able to get their act together for that event. But they couldn't get their act together in time for Obama to attend the march that took place in Paris, France for the slaughter of all those innocent people. By whom? By Islamic extremist terrorists. There's video proof that the two brothers were taking revenge for Allah, based on the publications that came out of that newspaper. Now, if you do a little bit of research, the Quran prohibits a Muslim from speaking out against another Muslim. Might that be the reason that the chosen one with the floppy ears chose not to go and participate? You'd have to be living in a cave not to understand that that's the exact reason that the chosen one didn't go to participate. Yet again, he has no difficulty getting on a jet, Air Force One, and flying halfway around the world to participate in a celebration in India. He also had no intentions of going to participate in any kind of ceremony for King Abdullah, who passed away. He was sending Joe Biden. That all changed because he chose to go to India. Do you not see what is so obvious? Why would Barack Hussein Obama spend $3 to $5 million to bury his past with Elena Kagan and the law firm that the less than honorable Attorney General Eric H. Holder was a partner in? You know what a symbiotic relationship is? A symbiotic relationship is where both parties benefit from each other. Why do you think the Attorney General was selected to be Attorney General? The same reason that Elena Kagan was selected to be on the Supreme Court. It's called payback. Yeah, the law firm that Eric H. Holder was a partner in was very successful burying Obama's entire past. But there's certain events that they couldn't bury, like the $20 million donation of King Abdullah to Harvard, which coincided when the chosen one supposedly went to Harvard. He became president of the law firm, yet he never wrote a paper. That's never happened before at Harvard. You also have to take a look at the character of the man. Well, what character? Mia Pope, who supposedly was a close friend of Obama when he was in Hawaii, said he was a homosexual. He would do whatever they do to each other, to men, in exchange for whatever drugs they had at the time. This is the President of the United States. You know, I posted a couple of other videos and I talked about the necessity to have all members of Congress drug tested, including the Vice President and the President. Don't you think that needs to happen based on the kinds of decisions these people make that affect all of our lives? But you know why that'll probably never happen? Because they're the elitists. And who are we to question their integrity? We're just the common folks. They've risen to prominent positions. We have no right to question them, their ethics. Well, actually we do, based on their non-performance. You know, there's a video of Senator Rand Paul where he holds up a book, and I've made mention of this a number of times in my videos. And he says, I was given this book, it has 650 pages. I was told we have to vote on it within 2 hours. He says, we don't read our bills. Now, doesn't that sort of cause you a little bit of discomfort, knowing that they don't read their bills? Well, if they don't read their bills, I have another question. What do they do, these members of Congress? There are a number of members of Congress that I think are morons. They're illiterate. They can't put a sane thought together. I don't want to mention names. There's no reason to. Members of Congress need to be tested for their mental competence. Certain members of Congress have had their cheese slip off their cracker. I think Senator John McCain's one of them. I think Nancy Pelosi's another one. I think Dianne Feinstein, for her actions in releasing all that CIA information, is another one. I'm convinced that if they were all evaluated for their mental abilities, you wouldn't have 535 members. Now, if you were to drug test them, you'd have even less. I'm not saying that they're running around doing heroin. Some might be. I'm saying a number of them are abusing drugs that are prescribed by doctors. It is completely insane to think otherwise. We've had a couple of members of Congress admit to cocaine use. I think there was one in Florida recently. It's completely crazy. These people have immense power, and they demand certain groups, like airline pilots, police, military personnel, captains of ships, are subjected to drug tests, yet they're not. Do you not see there's something really wrong with that picture? Do you know what would happen if Obama were drug tested? And he's the President of the United States. Never in our history has anyone with so much controversy swirling all around them been put in a position of power as has the chosen one. Again, I take a great deal of pride in doing what I do by posting the kind of videos that I post. I don't do it for self-gratification. I do it to try to wake people up to the realities. Once again, MVI 5041 should have gone viral. It hasn't, and it won't, which is really sad. But for those viewers that I have that are awake, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for believing in what I say. I don't expect my viewers to believe in everything that I say, although I wish that they would. But there's many that believe in a lot of what I have to say. You've heard me say this countless times. I don't make the news. What I do is I sit back and I observe. And having sat back and observed for about 2.5 years, 24 hours a day pretty much, well, 18 hours a day, I've developed a unique flair for being able to see the pieces of the puzzle and being able to put those pieces together like I did on Benghazi. I made a video over 2 years ago, and that hasn't gone viral. MOV 01868. It's had about 3,500 views, 3,600 views, and I've mentioned it a number of times in most recent videos. It still hasn't gone viral. When a video goes viral, which none of mine ever have, one of my videos has close to 70,000 views. That's one video out of 7,140 some odd videos. Once again, I don't make any money doing this. I don't derive any personal pleasure in doing this. It takes its toll. Sitting in front of this camera, putting my heart and soul into many of these videos, and then seeing that so few of them are viewed more than 100, 150 times. When I've got close to 3,000 subscribers, you'd think that at a minimum, a video would be viewed 3,000 times. At the same time, I understand that when I make as many videos as I do, it's difficult for people that work to be able to view them all on a daily basis. But there are some, like MVI 5041 or MVI 01868, that are definitely worthy of your time. Anyway, like I said, Barack Hussein Obama, I believe, is the Manchurian candidate created by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. Everything goes back to Saudi Arabia. Everything that's bad for America goes back to Saudi Arabia. And we have fed them to the petrodollars. Wake up, America. Barack Hussein Obama is on a mission to destroy our country. I cannot see him leaving at the end of his term. He hasn't completed his mission. That's what I think. So what do you think?